Hi and welcome to next tutorial. In today's lesson we will learn how to recreate this cool text reveal effect using Adobe After Effects. So anyways guys, let's jump in. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a new composition, and we're just going to run with a 1920 by 1080 document. Then I'm just going to create a new solid for the background, and I'm just going to choose my background. I've gotten my colors from Color Hunt. So then I'm going to press OK. Once I've got my solid background, I need to come over here to grab the T tool, and then I need to click anywhere on the screen, and now I can start to write some text. Now the color that I've used, I've also gotten it from Color Hunt. So if you want to go and change your colors, you can. All you have to do is double click on that, and then you can press OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to align it to the center of my composition. And if I want to change anything else on the character, I can come over here, maybe change the stroke to, let's say 20, or I can change this to, let's put that to 0, and the size. The font that I'm using is Azo Sans Black. But anyways, once we have done that, the next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure we click off any of these layers. We need to grab a rectangle tool, and then you just have to draw a rectangle that sits pretty much underneath that text. So you can zoom in for this if you want, and as soon as you're happy with that and it's just sitting just underneath that stroke, so just there, we're ready to go to the next step. So now the next step is we need to come over here to our reveal text. We need to make sure that we've switched or we've toggled this so that we can pull up this, and we want to change the reveal text to alpha inverted matte shape layer 1. Now it looks like nothing's happened, but if I come over here and press P on my keyboard, and if I drag that down, you see the effect that it kind of has. So that's pretty cool. Everything is working so far. We're just going to trim this work comp to about 5 seconds. And now we're going to start to actually animate in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up the reveal text settings and click on animate position. Okay, and once we've done that, then I'm going to go over here to position, and I'm just going to move forward to about 1 second in time. I'm going to click on the stopwatch, and then I'm going to move back to frame 0, and then I'm just going to bring this down until it's off the screen or off that shape. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over and duplicate that frame at this point over here. So the text will be revealed for about 1 second, and then it's going to go back down at about 3 seconds. So now the text comes in, stays up, goes down. Now it doesn't look that exciting, so we're going to fix this up. So what we need to do is we need to highlight all those frames, and then we need to convert them to Easy Ease keyframes. And then we need to go over here to the graph editor. And what we are going to do is you need to make sure that you're in the speed graph. And we're just going to grab these points from either side, and we're just going to bring them closer to the middle. And you're going to do the same for both sides, so they look something like that. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, all right, but now what's that going to achieve is now we've got a bit of motion that's happening, and it's a bit more fluid, so it's looking really good. Now what we want to do is we want to go into our range selector, and we want to play around with some of these settings. Okay, so this offset setting, we're going to set a keyframe here at 0%, and then when it goes up, we are going to bring it up to 100%, and we're going to have a look at what that looks like. So now when we play that back, the text is coming up one by one, and so we're going to do the same thing over here for the end. So we are going to copy that keyframe at 100%, and then we're going to go to the end, and then we're going to bring it down to 0. And so now when we play that back, it comes up and then it falls away, and that's looking pretty good. So what we need to do again, we need to make these easy ease keyframes, and then we need to go into our graph editor. And again, we're just going to grab them from both sides and just have that peak in the middle. And we're going to check out what that kind of looks like. Cool. So now when we play it back, we've got like a little bit of motion with the text, and it kind of accelerates up and then decelerates down. And if you want to change any of those settings in the graph editor, all you need to do is just go back into that graph editor, and then you can go back and you can play with some of these things. So now once you're happy with that, we can move on to the final thing, which is just to add a small little jitter to the entire text layer. So what we need to do is we need to come over here and we need to create a new adjustment layer, and then we are going to go to our effects and presets and look up an effect called turbulent displace, and then we just need to double click to bring that on the adjustment layer, and you can already see that it's messing up our text. So what we need to do is we need to bring the amount down to about 15. We need to bring the size also to about 15. And then we need to add one small thing, which is inside of evolution, and then inside of evolution options, hold Alt and press on that stopwatch. And then we can write time times 10. Okay, so that's time asterisk 10. And so now when we play that back, now we've got the text that comes in, it's jittery, and then it falls away. So that's looking pretty cool at the moment. The final thing that we can add to this is we can go over here and toggle the switch again, and we can just add some motion blur to all of those layers. And so now when we do this, it will take a little bit of time to render, and that's looking pretty cool. So when we play that back in real time, we've got that nice effect. So that's about it. I hope you guys learned something. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.